Well, it is official. The Bears have been officially eliminated from playoffs. Hi, my name is Zach Simmons, and this is my Chicago Bears Journal. So, later tonight, we'll be seeing the Bears and the Chiefs go head-to-head. Last week we had hope that maybe, just maybe, we can make playoffs if we beat Green Bay, but then we have to beat Kansas City. Well, we lost against Green Bay. Lots of factors on why we lost Green Bay. It's not just one person's fault. Looking back at that game, the big thing is Jesper Horsted should have pitched that ball back to Allen Robinson or Anthony Miller. You look back at that game, look back at that play, and it's pretty obvious they are wide open. More than likely, they're going to get into the end zone. There were some Saints in the area that maybe could have stopped, maybe could have shut them at the 1 yard line, but I mean, for the most part, they should have been able to get into the end zone. That would have brought us to overtime, pending on the 2-point conversion. So we definitely had an opportunity to win that game, but also goes back to Matt Nagy did not have, he went back, he changed the style of offense again. He went back to how we did things. At the beginning of the year, it didn't work. That's why we lost a bunch of different games. Counting Green Bay, counting the Chargers, the Rams, the Eagles. There's a lot of games that we should have actually won, and the main reason, I believe, is the play calling, not Trubisky, not the defense, not the receivers. It's Nagy and the play calling that lost us a lot of those games. But he went right back to the old style play call. Don't get anything going for Trubisky the first couple drives. He kind of let Trubisky hang out there to drive for the first half. Third quarter, Trubisky started to get things going, but the problem is because he didn't build up that momentum in the first quarter, that carried on for the rest of the game. The problem with Trubisky is his confidence. You have to get him going in the first couple drives. If you don't, he will stall. And that's what happened. Nagy had a terrible selection of plays on the first 2 drives, and Trubisky couldn't really come back from that. He did put him in position to win. But at the same time, he failed on many different occasions to win the game. Trubisky had the game in his hands for a few drives, and he still couldn't pull it together. But you can argue, you can make the argument that it's not Trubisky's fault, it's actually Nagy's fault because the play call wasn't good. He didn't have a good start to the game, and that carried over into the fourth quarter. You can definitely make that argument, but Trubisky definitely has plenty enough of blame around him for this last game. But Nagy, I don't get this guy. Things began to work last season. But yet, beginning of this season, half the plays we ran last season that worked, we haven't tried once. So it's weird that Nagy would see how well things are working and then change it, expect the defenses are going to figure it out now. So changes it completely. And our offense really has no identity after that because every single thing they did well last year, Nagy stopped and said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. But then the last few weeks, we went right back to it, and it worked. Trubisky, he works well in a fast-paced offense that allows him to roll out, that gives him a good amount of play-action plays that involve a bootleg or a rollout. That's how he strives. But yet Nagy, this last game, said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. Doesn't make any sense. It's not like defenses will just start to figure that stuff out. If you have capable blocking, you'll be fine. So, this last game, 3 factors. Horsted made a stupid play, tried to make the play himself. Obviously did not happen. I mean, there's no lane in where he could actually do it. Obviously, he should have pitched the ball to Allen Robinson. Trubisky had chances time and time again to put that game away, and he failed. He just downright failed. He started to get things going, but then nothing. But it does come back to Nagy, that Nagy changed the play, changed the scheme once again. For the third time this season, he changed the offensive scheme, changed the offensive look, and it just didn't work. So, we're out of playoffs. I said before, after the Philly game, that was the determining point if we're going to make playoffs or not. If we beat Philly, we have a chance. If we lose against Philly, it's not going to happen. And sure enough, it's not going to happen. So what do the Bears need to do now? Well, we have a lot a lot that we can talk over about that. And I'll hit a lot more this offseason when we hit free agency, when we hit the draft, what exactly the Bears need to do. But biggest thing is a play call, is a play caller. That's our top need. It's not a quarterback. It's not an edge rusher. It's not a receiver. What we need is a play caller. And I'm not saying we need a head coach. Matt Nagy needs to be our head coach. I think he's a fantastic leader, fantastic head coach. He's just a terrible play caller, a terrible play caller. So it's either going to be Helfrich or we need a new offensive coordinator. I would not make a change at the head coach. I would not make a change at GM. We need a play caller. There's a lot of guys open. Jay Gruden's on the market right now. There's a lot of speculation that Pat Shurmur might lose his job. We can easily go and grab Pat Shurmur. There's a lot of guys we can bring in as an offensive coordinator. We can promote some guys that are QB coaches to come in and be an offensive coordinator for us. Who knows? Dave Ragone might be a good play caller. But ultimately, what I would like to see the next couple games is Nagy needs to get rid of play calling for the next 2 games. The season's over. It's not going to change a thing. Let's see what Helfrich can do. Can he call a game? The only time Nagy gave him an opportunity to be the play caller was in the preseason. Let's be honest, that doesn't count. It really doesn't count. It's not highly competitive football. It's more, well, let's just see if we can get away with this. Let's see if we can do this. So even if it's not on Helfrich's part, it's going to be on the opponent's part that this Helfrich may be trying his best. Let me call plays exactly how he win the regular season, but the defensive coordinator might not be doing that. Might just be, what can I get away with this offense? Can I do this? Can I do that? What can these guys do? We're going to try to do things not necessarily the way we would do them in the regular season, just to see, can we get away with it? Do we have other playmakers here other than our starters? So give Helfrich the opportunity, because right now the teams we're going against, the Chiefs, the Vikings, yeah, they're going to play to win. They're definitely going to play to win. This is more competitive than the preseason. Give Helfrich an opportunity to show that he should remain here as offensive coordinator and take over play calling duties from Matt Nagy. But that's what we need. Obviously, we also need an edge rusher. I would replace Leonard Floyd. I think we need maybe a new receiver, because I would trade away Taylor Gabriel. That's just me, though. I would look for a new guard to replace Kyle Long. I think Kyle's a good guard, but we can definitely do better. We need a tight end. More than anything else, when it comes to a position, we need a tight end. Trubisky does a lot better when he has a reliable target at tight end. So definitely go out there and try to find someone. Austin Hooper, Darren Fells. There's guys out there who we can. There's definitely tight ends out there we can get. And you can say, well, we don't have any cap room. There's a lot of people we can let go to get his cap room. Princeton Mukamara is another one. I don't like how he's played this year. He doesn't fit the scheme. He doesn't fit the scheme. He's great in a Vic Fangio defense because you run more zone. Chuck Pagano runs a lot more man-to-man when it comes to the corners. So that's why Fuller really hasn't been as good. He's done a lot better than what I thought he was going to do. He's a zone corner. He's not a man. He's not a man-to-man corner. Mukamara gets beat easily. He's a slower corner. He works better in a zone. Even then, he was getting beat in zone defense last year. But Tolliver really showed up, I thought. He had great coverage against Devontae Adams. Pretty much lined up against him every single time he was on the field. And he almost got a pick off of Rodgers while covering Adams. I thought Tolliver did a fantastic job. Adams is not an easy receiver to cover. So the fact that he was actually able to pull off some really good coverage for an undrafted free agent, that's fantastic. So I would start Tolliver from now on. In fact, for the next 2 games, I would bench Mukamara, just see, can Tolliver do this? Try Duke Shelley. Can he do that? What do we have from these scrubs in our team? Because we saw some really good players in the preseason. Can these guys take that step up? Can they play in the NFL? This would be a good opportunity for them. Guys like Duke Shelley, guys like Riley Ridley, guys like Alex Bars, guys that stood out. Can they play? But I will not be surprised if you do not see Prince Mukamara today. The fact that when we put Danger Bathan on the IR and we activated Michael Joseph, a cornerback, that tells me we're going to need some corner help, which tells me Mukamara might not be playing. That was a few days ago. He's still questionable in the injury report. Could have just be just because of injury, definitely. But they've also had all week. They could have brought down Michael Joseph, brought someone else up. They haven't. I'm expecting Tolliver to start their corner. Maybe you'll see some Duke Shelley, especially with the addition of Michael Joseph. You might be able to see a good amount of Duke Shelley tonight. But when it comes to win or lose, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is draft position. But there's two big factors, I would say. If we lose, we get a higher draft pick in the second round. But also, if we win, though, that's going to help this team rally a little bit. It's going to give us a little bit more confidence coming into next season if we're a winning team. If we have a winning record, or just 8-8 would be perfectly fine. So, with how bad we've been, that's a pretty good spot to be at, because I don't think we're really deserving of an 8-8 spot. So we'll see exactly what happens. I'm expecting Trubisky to go all out tonight. He's been compared to Pat Mahomes since he was drafted. Well, pretty much since Pat Mahomes showed up last year, he's been compared to Pat Mahomes. So I'm expecting Trubisky to prove, not necessarily to the world, but prove to Chicago, you made the right choice. You picked me over him. I'm going to show you why you picked me over him. So I'm expecting Trubisky to go all out. This team loves Mitch, so I'm expecting the team to rally around him. You're going to see a good game from Mitchell Trubisky tonight, I think. But also, it's against the Chiefs. They don't have a great defense. It's an okay defense. It's not great. So I'm expecting him to kind of show up. I'm expecting this defense to play for the quarterback. I'm expecting this defense to go after Pat Mahomes tonight. So I don't think Mahomes' stats are going to be as good as what you think they would be. Even when the Bears defense, I mean, yes, it's a top 10 defense, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that we need to work at. Our pass rush really is not what it should be. So I'm expecting the defensive line to crash on Mahomes a bit more. I'm expecting these corners, these safeties to play a little bit more. Expect some guys to go a little bit more deep. When you're worried about McCall Harbin, Sammy Watkins, and Tyreek Hill, you're going to have to focus more on the deep game, which is going to be tough when you have Travis Kelce come in the middle of the field. So you're going to need some really good coverage from your linebackers. Nick Gronkowski has done a fantastic job of that this season, which is weird because I was calling him out in the preseason saying that we need to trade him because his man coverage is terrible. He showed up this year, done a fantastic job in man coverage, fantastic job in tackling. Two things that were the biggest factors that people were saying on why we need to cut or trade him. So very good from Nick Gronkowski. But when it comes to these corners, Tolliver's definitely the right guy in this. If Hill is going against Amukamara, Hill's going to be, he's going to be racking the yards. He's going to finish with 500 yards receiving. So I'm expecting a little bit more Tolliver. I'm expecting Tolliver to have a game. I'm expecting him to kind of shut down Tyreek. Not saying that Tyreek is going to be without a catch, but without a long catch, I think. I think Tolliver and HaHa Clindick is going to make sure that Tyreek Hill will not burn the Bears defense tonight. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what goes on tonight. But the reality is, even though we had these factors of, well, we need to build up our confidence too, we need to have a better draft play. So maybe we lose the next couple games, we can move up a little bit in the second round. They're not huge factors. They're really not. Draft position in the second round really isn't that big of a deal. If it's first round, okay. Second round, Pace can make some moves. There's guys we can trade away. So we can easily make moves to move up in the second round. And it all depends on who you want. If we're looking at a guy that we can wait a little bit for, then who cares about draft position? In fact, it's going to hurt us if we go up. We might be able to grab, if we decided to go down, we have too high of a pick, well, we might gain another fourth round pick. Someone 50-50 shot, well, I guess with Ryan Pace, it's more of a 75.5 shot. They're going to be good or bad. He's done fantastic in the fourth and fifth rounds. But it's just one of those things of, does it really matter in the second round? First round, sure, it's kind of nice to go up 4 more picks. That's a pretty good spot. But second round, no, I mean, you can easily move up. And at that point, we don't even know who we're going to be going for. First round, we have a little bit more of an idea, but you have to go through the first round to even know who's going to be out there in the second round. You could have guys you never thought would be out there. You could have guys that you thought were going to be there, but they were taken in the first round. So it really doesn't matter. I would say go for the win. You need the confidence booster, but at the same time, you have all off season. If our confidence is knocked down now, it doesn't mean it's going to be knocked down later on. So it really doesn't matter if we win or lose this game. I think the Chiefs will come up on top, but I think the Bears will make this a closer game than what people think it's going to be. It's going to be a one-possession game. Maximum maybe of 10 points if it's going to be a two-possession game, but I don't see the Chiefs winning by 2 touchdowns or more. So that's what I have for this week. Next week is my last week for my Chicago Bears Journal. We'll be taking a look. I'll be doing a lot more Pro Football Today starting next week with the playoffs on the line. I'll be going through my predictions. If you're interested to see what I predicted, how the season was going to go for all 8 divisions, check out my prediction videos. Some of them so far have looked pretty good. Some of them definitely not so good. So if you're interested in just seeing what I have to say before the season started, and how these teams were going to be this season, check it out. A couple of them that might surprise you. A couple of them which is a good thing. A couple of them, yeah, we're not. It's definitely way off. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, definitely subscribe. But I'll be doing a lot more Bears stuff. Of course, I have my episode next week for the Vikings game, but I'll be doing a lot more when free agency starts, when the draft, around draft time. So, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good day and also happy holidays.